The name of my bill is the Legalization and Taxation of Recreational Marijuana, and I know it's a controversial subject, but basically I'm trying to decriminalize marijuana, so people who are choosing to do this instead of alcohol or tobacco aren't criminalized for choosing something that's better, that's not as harmful to their body.
It's not necessarily that I'm either a pro or con for recreational marijuana. It was more of the concept of the author's interpretation of what exactly a gateway drug is. And her idea was that because it's illegal, it is a gateway drug. And I'm saying that just because it's illegal doesn't mean that it can't not be a gateway drug. Like, a legal drug can be a gateway drug. Alcohol is a gateway drug, and alcohol leads to other sorts of drugs, one of them being marijuana. Marijuana and alcohol are both gateway drugs to each other, and all sorts of other drugs. That was my main discrepancy, and the fact that there was no real statistical evidence on how regulating marijuana sales for recreational purposes will impact the economic sector enough to justify the passage of the bill.
Nowhere in the Constitution does it give any government authority the power to say what I can and cannot do with my body. And the fact that drugs are illegal, if there's any kind of regulation on the use and distribution of drugs, is kind of an affront to freedoms. I can't, just because something is bad for me, just because it might lead, just because marijuana is a gateway drug, does not mean that it should be outlawed. I think that it's my right to freedom as an American, as a human being, to destroy my body if I so please. Personally, I don't intend on ever using marijuana, but I don't think I should force my neighbors to make the same decisions I do.
I disagree with the legislation to legalize the use of recreational marijuana for several reasons. The first of which was that it has just been legalized in Colorado, and there is federal law already in place to actually that would supersede that law. So state law, so based on the Constitution. So it's just a matter of time, basically, before the Department of Justice says no, you cannot legalize marijuana for recreational use. And if by some miracle the federal government doesn't, or the Department of Justice does not do that, then maybe we can evaluate a law to legalize the use of marijuana recreationally. My second argument was that it is a gateway drug. The author tried to say it wasn't. He tried to claim that there's no evidence that marijuana is actually a gateway drug. However, I actually cited two specific instances, one of them being one of my best friends and another person being somebody in my family who all started out with marijuana. One of them ended up on acid, and another one of them ended up in prison with a bunch of heroin on them. So I felt very strongly that probably shouldn't be legalized.
I want my bill to get passed because it's something that I believe in. Again, I'm not condoning it, condoning the use of marijuana, but I believe in a person's right to choose what they do to their body, as long as it doesn't put somebody else in harm.